Now, put aside the formalities. Why am I running for a 5th term? I should be doing something else with my life. And I'll guarantee you that my wife and my family would be saying, thank God he finally made the right decision. The stakes are too high, my friends. The stakes are too high. Look at the record of the individuals who are running and make the decision on May 13th to elect those you can trust above all. Because you don't build a record in 16 years without developing trust in the community and with the people that you represent. Give yourselves a round of applause, because if you look around this room, I've never seen a picture of the way Newark looks like better than this. You go anywhere in the city of Newark, anywhere in the state of New Jersey, and you don't see what you're seeing here today, this afternoon. And this is representative of what we have been able to do and the type of people that I'm proud to represent. I often say that I'm a privileged elected official. When you come to me and you say, I received a summons, it was not done right, or I have a pothole in front of my house, or the street light's not working, you are as important as anybody else is in this community. Why am I running for a 5th term? Because, very simple, I'm as motivated today as I was in 1998 when I first won for councilman of East Ward. I believe also, as I did then, that I represent the interests of everyone, but everyone who lives and works in this community, not just a few. At a time that Newark is at a crossroads where there are people who would like to take advantage of the lack or the vacuum, the alleged vacuum of leadership at the top, we cannot allow this city to be taken backwards. We cannot allow this city and the residents of this city to pay the price for a mistake that we might make on May 13th. So the choice is very clear, my friends. The choice is very clear, and I can't put it any more bluntly than this. You either elect the right people, or we're going to pay the price after May 13th. And who are the right people? Some of them are behind me. These 3 individuals. Wilfredo Caraballo, my good friend Carlos Gonzalez, and Linda Lloyd to the council. Along with me, we need support. So when the issues that are important to the East Board come up, these people stand behind me and support me. So it's our responsibility and our obligation to make sure that you bring it in. Now, let's talk about a record, because you don't vote based on the way I look like. I'm not your prettiest politician. I don't have the best personality. I don't smile a lot. But I can guarantee you one thing. No one is more honest than I am, and no one works as hard as I do. For those of you who were around in 1998, if you remember the way this community looked like, I remember a story that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Some people came to me, and they're here, and I'll introduce them later on, and they said, we have a ton of kids that need to play soccer, and they don't have a field. They don't have a soccer field to play on. This was in 1998. At that time, it was true. There was not one soccer field in the Ironbound, in the East Border. Right now, there's 6 soccer fields in the Ironbound. We have renovated the Chestnut Street Firehouse. We built 2 parks by the river. Oliver Street School is now being built, finally, and South Street School will begin at the end of this year. Both parks, Riverbank and Independence, have been renovated. Residential property taxes went down by 16%. And I took the lead on that. I took the lead on that. Economic development is finally beginning to happen in our community. Wake Fern built a plant with 350 new jobs. Lister Avenue, the project on Lister Avenue by Terrell Homes, is also being built for about 600 new jobs going to the residents of the city of Newark. 32 new firemen have been admitted into the academy, graduated, and they're now working. The Ironbound Rec Center has been renovated. So, go ahead, applaud, yes. And alongside of that, when I talk about honesty, let me give you just a brief note. I don't know if anybody read about what happened with the watershed. A Newark agency. It was ripe with corruption. It's ripe with corruption. I started the fight to get the watershed clean. What do we have planned for the next 4 years? Very simple. Just a lot of hard work. Again, I don't know how to do anything else. My wife sees me getting out of the house at 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, and she says, you don't need this. But that's the way I am. In the next 4 years, we're going to work on the Ironbound Stadium. We're going to work to help open, finally, the Hayes Park East. There'll be a new recreation facility at Hyatt Court. We're going to continue to keep taxes down, and with the help of these folks and the right leadership at the top, we're going to get more police officers in the streets. Before I leave the podium, I want to thank a bunch of people that have been responsible for my success. I want to thank first my staff. They're all over the place. They work to make sure that you have a good time today. Maria, Manuela, Angelo, George, Claudia and Carlin is not here, I don't think. Those 6 individuals have made me what I am today. I'd like to thank my family, my wife, my son, Mark, my daughter, my 2 daughters, actually. Susie and what's her name again? And Nicole, because they've been the strength behind me. When we talk about politics, and sometimes I come home and life is not as good as it should be, there's always somebody saying, but tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow will be a better day. And believe it or not, I've had a lot of good days because I'm privileged, as I said before, because of the fact that I represent you. There's a ton of people in this room tonight, or this afternoon, that decided to be with us. And I'm proud of the fact that I am who I am, where I came from, and the fact that you put your trust in me for the last 16 years. But that doesn't go without the support of a lot of people in this community. There's a ton of social clubs that have stood by me along the way, and they said, we believe in you, and we're going to be there. The Ecuadorian American Chamber of Commerce is here. Where are they?
Yeah.
Casa dos Arcos, Freirense, Casa Trás-Montes e Alto Douro, Portuguese Sport Club, Sport Newark Beira-Mar, Sport Marítimo West, Beach de Mortosa, Sport Newark Benfica, Club Azores, and I think there's a couple of Ranch Folklóricos also here. Williams Clubs, Large Leões, Den of Lions. I need that, so I'm getting old. And Rancho Aida, Casa do Minho, which I did not announce. So we have a large group of Brazilians also with us. Club of Swords, how could I forget Club of Swords? How could I forget my family, even though I'm a Murtuzeiro? I purposely, before I introduce the next mayor of the city of Newark, I purposely decided to leave this gentleman for the end. That often confuses the 2 of us in the city council. Whenever they want to talk to me, they say, Councilman Ramos. And then whenever they want to talk to him, they say, Councilman Amador. So it's been a marriage from the very beginning. This gentleman is a partner in the kinds of things that we do in the city council. I'd like to introduce to you Councilman Ramos.
All right, good afternoon, East Ward. Buenas tardes. I'm just delighted to be here today in support, of someone who's a good friend. He's been a partner, like you mentioned, from day one when I got elected to the Newark City Council. Before he said he didn't have the best personality, but the Augie I know has a great sense of humor at times. And he also said he wasn't the best looking guy, but I'm telling you, they confuse us. So Augie, that's a compliment for both of us. But Councilman Amador is the bureaucracy's worst nightmare and the taxpayer's best friend. For the last 8 years, this man has led the charge, along with myself, to reduce expenses on the city side and ensure that our city government does more for our seniors, and most importantly, his model of operation as a ward council person is something that I emulated from day one. You know, he utilizes his little city hall as a way to get things done that your city government is not getting done for you. He works with every single resident of this community, and I can tell you, Councilman, that on behalf of the North Ward, we're very grateful for your leadership. You know, I used to watch wrestling as a little kid, right? And this man is so strong here in the East Ward that the opposition is putting together 4 opponents, right? He's like Andre the Giant in the ring, and you've got 4 or 5 wrestlers coming in trying to take him down. And if you watch the WWF as a kid, you realize that Andre the Giant won all those matches. So I don't care who they line up against Councilman Amador, he's got the love, respect, and the faith of the East Ward community. And on a personal note, I just want to say thank you to the people of the East Ward. You know, the 7.5, 8 months that I had my candidacy for mayor, one of the things I enjoyed the most was going to the various wards throughout the city of Newark. And the people that inspired me on a daily basis, you know, I just had one of our seniors come up to me and said, Amigo, are you still running for mayor? I'm not running for mayor. I'm running for re-election on the city council. But the heart, the support that I received here in the East Ward, most importantly from my councilman, Councilman Amador, is something I will never, ever, ever forget. And I will appreciate for the rest of my career. Some of the political power brokers and other individuals may not have been as supportive, but I can tell you that the East Ward was there 1,000%. And just like you were there for me during my candidacy for mayor, I want to make sure that we do everything we can to re-elect the beast from the East, Councilman Amador. Let's give it up for Councilman Amador. And also the person that I'm supporting for Mayor, Shavar Jeffries. Let's give it up for Shavar. And these 3 really good-looking people that are here. Linda's the best looking out of the 3. Linda Lloyd, Freddie Caraballo, and Carlos Gonzalez, the entire Jeffries team. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes por su apoyo. Yo estoy aquí simplemente para apoyar al concejal Amador. Él es el peor enemigo de la burocracia, pero el mejor amigo de los residentes de la ciudad de Newark. Y nosotros tenemos que estar muy agradecidos por todo lo que el concejal Amador hace con nosotros. Él es una persona que trabaja fuerte todos los días y él quiere a todos los residentes del barrio este. Y yo estoy muy comprometido como su amigo y su colega de hacer todo lo posible para que él sea reelecto como su concejal. Muchísimas gracias. Buenas tardes. God bless you all. And let's support Augie Amador.
Thank you, Inigo. Before I introduce the gentleman who's running for mayor that I'm supporting big time, let me say a few words in Portuguese. And I apologize for those who do not speak Portuguese, but I have to do it. Because the last time we had something like this, I neglected to speak in Portuguese, and I was reminded of my roots, and rightfully so. Tem sido prazer representar esta comunidade durante 16 anos. E representar uma comunidade durante 16 anos só acontece quando há confiança entre as pessoas que nos apoiam e nós, candidatos. Essa confiança é construída ao longo desse tempo todo, através do trabalho, através da honestidade, através do interesse que nós pomos naquilo que fazemos. Tenho um orgulho enorme, enorme, de ser o que sou, de onde vim e o que posso ser amanhã. porque faço parte da melhor comunidade que existe na cidade de Newark e no estado de New Jersey. Porque é que eu, ao fim de 16 anos, estou novamente a concorrer? É o 5º termo. Já devia ter juízo. Já devia ter juízo. A minha mulher seria, de certeza absoluta, a pessoa que ficaria mais satisfeita se eu dissesse: acabou. Mas há coisas mais importantes na nossa vida em que nós temos de dedicar o nosso tempo, o nosso trabalho, o nosso interesse. E esta comunidade é extremamente importante para ser controlada por pessoas que não têm os interesses da comunidade em si. Têm os seus interesses próprios acima dos nossos interesses gerais. E eu não posso permitir, numa altura destas, que isso aconteça. Portanto, eu preciso do vosso apoio mais uma vez. Mais uma vez, eu quero que vocês tenham mais confiança naquilo que eu faço. Não vos peço muito, nunca vos pedi muito. Dou-vos em troca o meu trabalho, o meu interesse e o meu sentido de honestidade que eu ponho nas coisas que eu faço. Mas não sozinhos, nós não podemos ir muito longe. Temos de ter uma equipa connosco. E estas 3 pessoas que estão aqui deste lado são extremamente importantes para serem eleitas também. E têm que ser eleitas no dia 13 de maio. A Linda Lloyd, o Alfredo Carvalho e o Carlos Gonzalez. E eu peço que os apoiem nesse dia também. Last, I'm going to bring before you a gentleman that I met some time ago. As you all know, and Councilman Ramos said so before, I was a big supporter of Councilman Ramos when he first announced. And things changed. Councilman Ramos decided to drop out, not to run for mayor, and we talked. We talked and we said, for the best interest and based on the quality of the people running for mayor, there is no choice, my friends. There's only one way out. There's only one candidate that should be the mayor of this city. There's only one candidate. There's 2 choices here. One is a positive choice, the other one is a negative choice. If anybody can show me what the other candidate has proposed to make your life better, tomorrow I will support him. But it hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen, because there's only one choice on May 13th. This city cannot go backwards. As I often say, we worked, all of you, we worked extremely hard to get where we are today. We cannot take this city backwards again. There's a gentleman running for mayor who has a story to tell you. A story of sacrifice, a story of hard work, a story of commitment to this city. And it's a shame that if we don't elect a mayor of this city on May 13th, we don't need people yelling and screaming on the streets. We don't need people to give us different views of what we should look like 5, 10 years from now. We need to continue to grow. We need to continue to make life better. Our quality of life has to be better tomorrow than what it is today. And there's only one candidate in the race for mayor that I identified with and has the same values and the same principles that all of you, regardless of who you are, regardless of where you come from Terrell Homes to South Ironbound, he has the same values that we have. Values of hard work, values of sacrifice, values of commitment. And he has a plan for the future of the city. So my friends, I plead with you that on May 13, please vote for Shavar Jeffries.
Thank you very much, Councilman Amador. I'm absolutely humbled and honored to work with you, to move our city forward. Everyone in this room knows extremely well of the record of service, the record of accomplishment that Councilman Amador has in this community for over 16 years. And he is one of the more results-oriented. His record speaks for itself. This community is in dramatically better shape given the leadership of Councilman Amador. And again, I'm absolutely humbled and honored to work with him in this effort. Thank you very, very much, sir. I'm very much excited about this. Before I say anything else, go Augusto. I'm also honored to be here with the chairman, Federico. And I'm also honored to be here with my teammates in this effort to move our city forward. Linda Lloyd, an amazing young woman, a great, amazing leader in this community. Wilfredo Caraballo, a longtime legislator and public advocate for the state of New Jersey. Councilman Carlos Gonzalez, who's been serving you in a stellar fashion as your councilman at large for almost 8 years now. My name is Shavar Jeffries. I'm running for mayor, and I'm running because I love this city very much. This city has given me almost everything that I have. You know, I grew up in a family that, like many of our families, was a family that didn't have everything other people had, but we had a lot of love, and we had a lot of caring, and we had a lot of compassion. My mom was a young teenage mom when she gave birth to me. Unfortunately, I would lose her at a young age. She would meet a gentleman, they would get married, he would become abusive. And we had entirely too much violence against women in our communities, and this is something that we had to live through. My mother would give restraining order after restraining order to protect her against this violence, and they were ignored. And one day my mother went to work, and she didn't come back because he was waiting for her at the workplace, and he would testify later, he would say that he happened to have a sawed-off shotgun with him, and my mother didn't make it out of the workplace. And I came back home, my father popped up, said he was going to raise his son. I was with him a few months, and I came home one day, he was gone. I wouldn't see a note, I wouldn't get a goodbye, I would never see him again. But I'm here today because of the people of North, because of a grandmother who loved me, because of the Boys and Girls Club that gave me the opportunity. My grandmother is like everybody else in this room. She was a worker, she was a public school teacher, she worked at the county jail. And after she lost her mother, she did what grandmothers do each and every day. Without even blinking her eyes, she said, "You're going to come stay with me and I'm going to take care of you." Make sure that children knew they were loved, and that they were beautiful, and that they were special, and that they could do all things. I would receive a scholarship from the Boys and Girls Club to get a college, high school education, which would allow me to be the first in my family to go to college, the first in my family to go to law school, and receive all kinds of blessings just because the people of North loved me. And so for the last 15 years, I've been a civil rights attorney here. I've been representing Northwest for free on a variety of different issues, housing issues, education issues, discrimination on the job, immigration, violence against women, and I'm very proud to have a long track record of producing results. Just like Councilman Amador talked about the amazing results he has produced, our team is about producing results for the people of Newark. Talk is cheap. How's that? That's better. You know, my grandmother actually used to say, an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. So oftentimes the people making the most noise are doing the least. And so in addition to serving this community as a civil rights attorney, I've been an assistant attorney general and prosecutor for the state of New Jersey. And while we were there, we invested in prevention programs, after-school programs for young people, drug treatment programs for those who have an addiction, job training programs for adults who are finding themselves without economic opportunity. And at the same time, we had zero tolerance for guns and gangs. And in the city of Newark, because of the programs we implemented throughout the state of New Jersey from 2007 to 2009, we reduced violent crime throughout the state 3 years in a row. And that's the record we're going to bring here, because right now, in the city of Newark, too many of our neighborhoods are a war zone right now. An absolute war zone right now. We had 111 murders in the city of Newark. You're blessed because of the leadership of Councilman Amador that while no community is perfect, there's a dramatically safer neighborhood here than, for example, where I live in the South Ward, where the person I'm running against is from, and where murders have gone up 70% in just the last 4 years. We can't afford to have that kind of record throughout the state and the city of Newark. I have a record of performance. We have a record of accomplishment. And we're going to do it by investing not only after-school programs and opportunity for our young people, but having zero tolerance around guns and gangs. You have a gun in the city of Newark, under our administration, you're going to prison. You're involved in gang activity in the city of Newark, carjacking people, robbing people, you're going to prison. We're not going to apologize, not excuse or compromise that, because that enables a culture that is destroying our neighborhoods and destroying our community. That's the kind of leadership we represent. That's what we're going to bring to City Hall. We're going to stabilize these budgets, and I'm going to continue to work with Councilman Amador and Councilman Ramos to stabilize our budget. Because if we don't have the right kind of reform-based leadership, you're going to see your taxes skyrocket through the roof. You have the